In today's class, we will study antenna basics. Antenna is a metallic element which radiates the signal in the space, and this antenna we are using either for the transmission purposes or for the reception purposes. Antenna can be used for two purposes. One is for the transmission and another one is the reception. When we are using this antenna for the transmissions, so we are sending the signals in the space, and when you are using this antenna as a receiving antenna, so then we are getting the signals from the space. So this antenna, so generally we are using whenever two devices are to be communicated with each other in a wireless medium. And when a signal is transmitted from the transmitter antenna, so we are sending the signals in the electromagnetic form, and whenever we are receiving the signal in the receiving side, we are receiving the signals in the electromagnetic form. Mean to say that at the transmitter side, whatever information is there in the electrical form, so it will be converted into a electromagnetic form, and at the receiving side, the signals which are received in the electromagnetic form will be converted back into a electrical signals. And this transmitting and the receiving antennas are used as an impedance matching devices. The transmitting antenna matches the impedance with the space, whereas the receiving antenna matches the impedance with the receivers. Now let us see how this antenna radiates the signals. Now let us look into this equation. IL equal to Q into V. This is the basic radiation equation, where in this equation I is the time changing current and L is the length of the element, means the length of the antenna. Q is the charge which is measured in coulombs, and V is the time change of velocity. Now this is the equation which you are using in order to describe the radiation function of these antennas. Now with these equations we will come across the three basic things. One is the time changing current and the accelerated charge radiates. That means here you are having the time changing current and here you are having the accelerated charge. Now this time changing current and the accelerated charge will radiate the signal in the space. Second one is the radiation is proportional to the accelerations. So whatever the signals are radiated from the antenna, so this radiation is proportional to the acceleration. And the third one is radiated power is proportional to the square of IL or QV. That is, whatever the power is radiated from the antenna, so this power is proportional to square of this current or square of this particular charge. Now, so let us see how the antenna radiates. Now, so this is your transmitter, okay, and from the transmitters here you have a guided tube. So this is your transmission lines. Okay, so this transmission lines may be your coaxial cable or your waveguides. It may be circular waveguide or the rectangular waveguides. Now, so this particular part of this particular structure, we will say that it is a guided wave. Now, what is happening is that, so this is the transmission line and this is your transmitter. Here are the transmitters, signal is flowing. Now, so what is that? As the length of the this transmission line is there, signal is continuing. So what is done, this particular transmission line is that, so this particular one, so what you will do, it was like this. Now what I will do, so I will take this cut at this particular position, I will bend it. Now when bend it, so it goes to this, and when bend it, it goes to this. Then what is happening is this, so this particular one is coming to this, and this particular one is coming to this. Okay. Basically, so these are the lines only. So I will take it as a dots. So this one, I will bend it and do this. So then what is happening is that, so whatever the waves are passing here, the signal is passing here, now it becomes like this. So this is what has been shown in this. So this is the guided wave, and this is the tapered section. So that means whatever the transmission line is there, so this has been stretched at both the sides, and the upper side and the bottom sides. Even, so this one, whatever the stretching will be there, you can make it as 90 degree, what it has been shown in this. If that is the case is there, then what happens, this whatever this signal will be there, the signals becomes like this. And this part now, so this is your space. That is, so this particular portion is a free space where the waves are radiated into the space. And here, so this is the E plane. So whenever the signals are radiated in the space, we will come across the two planes. One is the E plane and another one is the H plane. Then the electrical field plane and the magnetic field plane. But here, for the simplification purposes, we have taken only the E plane, and in most of the cases, okay, we are dealing with only the E plane, not with the H plane. Similarly, at the receiving side, so this is the receiver side. So whatever the waves are propagated through the space at the receiving side, so these waves will be captured by this tapered section of this particular transmission lines. Now, so these waves will enter into this. And this is how the antenna radiates the signal in the space. So as shown in the figure, it receives the signals from the space. So then you are calling it as a receiving antenna. And in figure A, it radiates the signals to the space. So it's called as a transmitting antenna. So let us consider some of the basic elements of an antenna. So the first element is alternating current element, and it is also called as Hertzian, so dipole element, or Hertzian dipole. And so this antenna is also called as a short linear antenna. Mean to say that, so the length of this particular antenna is very short. And the second one is short dipole antenna, where so the length of this antenna is lambda by 4, where lambda is the wavelength of the signals. And the third type of optical element is short monopole, and the length of this short monopole is lambda by 8, where so lambda is the wavelength, and half wave dipole, the length is lambda by 2, where lambda is the wavelength, and quarter wave monopole, so the length of this antenna is lambda by 4, and lambda is the wavelength. And any antenna is having basically three properties. One is equality of impedance. Equality of impedance means, as you know that the antenna can be used as a transmitting antenna, or antenna can be used as a receiving antenna. Equality of impedance is saying is that whatever the impedance the antenna exhibits at the transmitter, the same impedance it exhibits at the receiver. Equality of impedance means at the transmitting side, so whatever the impedance you are having, same impedance we are having at the receiving side. That is, transmitter antenna and the receiver antenna gives the equal impedance. The second property is equality of directional pattern. Equality of directional pattern means whatever the radiation pattern of the transmitting antenna is there, so the same radiation pattern receiving antenna is also having. That means to say that the transmitting antenna pattern and the receiving antenna patterns are similar or equal. And the third property is equality of effective length. Equality of effective length means effective length of the antenna at the transmitter side is equal to the effective length of the antenna at the receiver side. That is, receiver antenna effective length and the transmitter antenna effective length are always equal. You can verify these three properties using the reciprocity theorem. So let us consider some types of antennas. Here only few antenna have been shown. The first one is the dipole antenna. So this is called as a dipole antenna because we have the two poles here. So this is one and this is another one. So in this you can have another type of the antenna, so that we are calling it as a, okay, if it is like this, so then we will call it as monopole antenna. It is called as a monopole because we are having only pole, and it is called as a dipole because we are having so one pole here and another pole here. And another type of the antenna is called as a loop antenna. So here the structure of this antenna, it is in the form of a loop. Okay, you can see here. So this is goes like this, and then comes like this, then goes like this, then comes like this, and then it is here. So it is in the form of a loop. So therefore it is called as a loop antenna. Another type of the antenna is an helical antenna. Okay. And another type of the antenna, so that is a rhombic antenna. So the structure of this particular antenna is looks like a rhombus. So therefore it is called as a rhombic antenna. And so another type of the antenna is horn antenna. So this is the symbolic representation of this horn antenna. And another antenna is a parabolic reflector antenna, and it is also called as a dish type of the antennas. So the structure of this particular antenna is looks like a dish, and here so the reflectors are there. So it is used to either for the transmission purposes or for the reception purposes. All these antennas are having their own advantages, so disadvantages and the characteristics, and depending upon the applications, so we are using these antennas as per the requirement. So let us consider the principle of operation of an antenna. So whenever at the transmitter side you want to send an information, then whatever electrical signals are there, so will be converted into electromagnetic signals. Now the principle of operation says that the free space electromagnetic wave consisting of Ex and Hy for a wave propagating in the z directions. That means to say that electromagnetic signals consisting of the electrical component and the magnetic component, and the electrical component is along the x direction and the magnetic component is along the y directions. So the Ex means electrical component in the x directions, Hy means magnetic component in the y directions. And so this wave propagates in the z directions. So that what has been shown in this. Here you have electrical component, and here along this you are having the magnetic components. And on this electrical and magnetic component, we are calling it as electromagnetic waves. So this electromagnetic wave propagating in the z directions. And here, so what this particular pattern is shown here. So this is your electromagnetic wave patterns, which contains both the electrical component and the magnetic component, that is your Ex and Hy. Now, so whatever this electrical component, the magnetic components are present, is calculated from this equation. The electrical component Ex, because so these waves are propagated in the z direction, and that is with respect to the time, therefore it is written as Ex z with respect to t. That is electric field component of the wave propagated in the z direction with respect to the t is equal to E0 sine of 2 pi f t minus beta z plus phi. So this equation you can write it as E0 sine of omega into t minus z by v plus phi, because where beta is equal to 2 by lambda, this you can write it as a w by v. Now, so in this particular equation, if you substitute beta is equal to w by v, so then this equation is simply for z by v, and whatever this 2 pi f is there, you know that omega is equal to 2 pi f. So this particular 2 pi f is replaced by omega, and this beta is replaced by w by v. So therefore this equation simplifies to so this. And where here v is there, so this phi is the velocity of the wave which is propagating. Similarly, you can have the magnetic component, or you can calculate the magnetic component. Magnetic component is given by Hy, once again in the z direction with respect to the t is equal to H0 sine of omega into t minus z by v plus phi. If you closely look into this, both the equations are similar. Only thing is here E0 term is there and here H0 term is there. So these terms remain same and this term remains same. Now, and this Ex and Hy components are present in this, and they are propagating in the z direction. Therefore here the z and here z is taken, and both are changing with respect to the time. Therefore t and t are taken. Now, for the simplification purposes, so let us consider a dipole antenna, okay, and this is a dipole antenna is shown in this. And now, so this antenna is having a certain region where so this antenna radiates. Now if you closely look into this, so this is what the dotted circle have been shown. So this you are taking as an antenna region. Antenna region is nothing but the space or the region where so the electromagnetic signal is present. And so this is we are calling it as outer region. Beyond this particular boundary, we don't have electromagnetic signals. Therefore, it is called as an outer region. And so this is you are calling it as a boundary region. That is, a boundary sphere is the one which separates so the outer region with the antenna regions. So this one we are taking it as a polar plane, and it is also called as a opaque, because whenever the antenna radiates, so whatever the signal is radiating in this particular direction will be reflected back to the antenna. So therefore it is called as an opaque. Whereas in the equatorial plane, So whatever the signals are radiated from the antenna, so it will be propagated through the space, so therefore it is called as a transparent. I am repeating once again. So this plane we are calling it as a polar plane, and here whatever the signals are radiated from this particular antenna will be reflected back to the antenna, therefore it is called as an opaque. And in the equatorial plane, so whatever the signals is radiated from this particular antenna will be propagated in the space, so therefore it is called as a transparent.